Alright, we're back with more Kerbal space program. We're going to go ahead and modify our rocket. I named it the Manos 1 actually. So we need to enhance its ability quite a bit here. We need more fuel to get actually into a stable orbit. So we're going to start off just by adding another stage here. I'm going to put a vectoring engine on here. This one provides a little less thrust, but it does allow more control, which we'll need once we get up into space. We don't really need the thrust as much once we're out of the atmosphere. So let's go up here a little higher, add a decoupler. Let's use this tri-coupler, and we're just gonna add a whole bunch of fuel tanks here. Let's go with the symmetry put on 3, and let's add a total of 9 fuel tanks. That ought to do something. We'll add some of the more thrust-oriented rocket engines here too. And you know what, just for good measure, let's add one of these on each of the, this is a radial decoupler. Let's add one of these on each of these fuel tanks. And we'll add some solid rocket boosters too, just to give us that little extra something to get off the pad. And unfortunately I can't use the symmetry tool on these, so they're probably not going to be exactly straight, but I'm doing my best here to line them up pretty well. Let's double check our stages. These rockets need to fire all at the same time, then those blow off. Alright, that's looking good. So let's go out to the launch pad. Actually, I should have renamed this first. Let's end the flight and go back to the vehicle assembly building, because I actually do want to save this. We'll call this Manos 2, save, and now we'll launch. Okay, so first thing we got to remember to do is turn the SAS module on, throttle at 100%, and it's going to be a night launch this time, it looks like. So here we go. Oh, there's some wobbliness going on here. I should have added some struts. We'll be alright. It's not wobbling too bad. So I think when I get up to about 10,000 meters, I'm going to turn a little bit to 90 degrees, which would be the east, after these solid rocket boosters go in. Oh, they're overheating. Doesn't matter. They're done for. Oh, and they're going to hit the pad too. Look how wobbly those engines are. That's not good. Doesn't seem to be really negatively affecting things too much, but that's going to get to be a problem when we go bigger, so we'll have to add some struts. Alright, when we get to about 10,000 meters, I'm going to turn a little bit off to the east, and we'll see what that does to our flight trajectory here. We're done with our first set of fuel tanks, it looks like. Yep. Climbing pretty decently. And let's turn off the SAS and just nudge over. Whoa, wobble, wobble, wobble. There we go. Let's just nudge over that much and see what that does to our flight. Yeah, that doesn't look safe. Doesn't seem to be breaking anything though. I don't actually know what the optimal course to orbit's gonna be here. Let's see. That was from a previous test over there. Alright, so we're almost clearing the atmosphere. I think once this gets up to like, let's go for 100,000 meters, I'll just shut down the engines for a little bit and we'll fire again once we get up here, because I think in order to get into orbit we have to actually fire when we're at the apoapsis. And let's get the little control ball thingy up here so we can actually see what the heck we're doing here. Alright, getting there. I'm gonna shut it down. Overshot just a little bit, but that's alright. Let's get back here. Nice. And I am going to accelerate time a little bit till we get up to like 90 or so kilometers. And then we'll try to do some precision stuff here. Alright, getting there. Slowly but surely. Can't go any farther than that. Oh, am I counted under acceleration because of the SAS? Apparently. Whoa, 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 whoa. Overshot there. Okay, let's get this thing RCS on. Turn over towards our direction of travel. Actually, I should probably just turn towards the horizon, really, but I don't know the best way of doing this. This is a learning process here. Let's start firing. We're at 100,000. I don't know how much of a burn I need to do here. More than that, evidently. Okay, it's widening. That's starting to widen right up. Actually, let's stop thrusting until we get a little closer there again. Because I don't want to get some crazy wide orbit. Okay, there we go. I think we're just going to be chasing this apoapsis here. Yeah, look at that expanding out. I think we might get this. How is the fuel situation? Doing pretty well. We still have that one fuel tank in the extra stage too. So we're still increasing that. I don't want to keep increasing the apoapsis here. And we are off of our path of travel, which means we're not being very efficient in using fuel. I guess it makes sense it would be the horizon, doesn't it? Learning experience. Okay, here we go. Let's see what this does here. Oh yeah. That's starting to look like something. That rocket doesn't sound so good. Sure, everything's fine though. And I know that we're being inefficient with our fuel now because we're past the apoapsis, but oh, and we just ran out of fuel in that tank, didn't we? So let's ditch that stage and light this thing up. Because we don't really have a choice, otherwise we're not going to achieve orbit. I should have fired earlier. Get out of the planet. Oh, it's getting there. Come on. Apoapsis and periapsis. There we go. Slow down our burn here because, well, it's not quite out of the atmosphere yet. Let's go to 75 on this side. There we go. What are we doing over here? 154. Okay. That'll work. So let's get over to... We're going to want to get over to apoapsis again and burn, I think, once we get close to the apoapsis, because then we'll be able to lift this side. Whatever you do to one side of the orbit affects the other side. So if we want this to come out, we need to accelerate when we're getting there. And if we want this to come in, we have to decelerate when we're coming there, or vice versa. So, good. We're still outside of the atmosphere, I think. Just barely. Can I go faster? Nope. Cannot. Alright, so we're gaining altitude again. Things are looking pretty good. Come on. It's gonna take forever. What altitude are we at? Well, we're not even at 100,000 yet. But we are in orbit. This is actually a stable orbit, even though it's not a very pretty orbit. This is a stable orbit that I think we could maintain forever. So that's something. Alrighty. So when I get about there, I think I'm gonna start firing.